What's going on, YouTube? This is Squids. Sorry this one's a few days late. I kind of had some, shenanigans going on this weekend, and I kind of lost my voice a little bit, which you'll be able to probably tell throughout this video. It is improving quite a bit. Thankfully, in time for the 100 sub goal video that's going to be coming out Wednesday. And I couldn't go without covering Nagatoro, though, because as everyone knows, this is probably one of my favorite series of all time. So without further ado, let's get into this. Let's do her and call it good. We start the episode off with Nagatoro and Senpai in the art room checking everything out. And they're kind of like, he's coming to the realization, maybe we got too much stuff in this art room and we need some more space. So Nagatoro was like, let's try, maybe auctioning off your art. And, because she's complimenting him in the nicest way. Because these two are flirty flirts, but they never, admit it to each other yet. But, he's Senpai's humble and honest, and he goes, they probably won't sell that much. I'm still a student and everything else. And she's like, yeah, you're right. But then Nagatoro finds this piece of art that's the president, just like buck-ass naked doing a self-portrait, and gets that just look of like disgust on her face and goes, yeah, no, I think we can get rid of that shit. I honestly love the jealousy parts of this series. I think they're like some of the best reactions ever because they're just like so surreal, but at the same time clearly over the top. And I think that's what makes this series so well off. But right after that, in the intro, we get to Senpai, who is he's sitting there, and Nagatoro's on the couch, kind of just dilly-dally and eating her chocolate-covered bamboo shoots. And Senpai glances over at her, my gosh, and she notices, and she's like, huh, you kind of just glancing at me, you pervert. And he's like, no, I just wanted to do a portrait. I haven't done one in forever. And so Senpai's all, or Nagatoro's all like, yeah, you're right. We can do that, maybe, possibly, but some other time. I'm busy right now. And Senpai agrees. He's like, we can do it sometime you aren't busy. But Nagatoro's like, I guess I could do it. Just kind of egging him on, and I love it. So she picks a pose, and it's almost like we'll find out later on this episode / the next episode that it's a judo pose or a Thai pose, and we get to see the actual picture, and it looks fantastically well drawn. And next thing you know, what happens? The gang comes in. We got Maki, Yoshi, and Sakura jumping on in there. And my favorite line from this whole episode comes into place because Nagatoro's got her arms all around choking out Senpai because of all the things he was saying, because obviously Nagatoro, so far in this episode, we kind of find out she doesn't like talking about all of that martial arts stuff. But we get the flirty paradise line, and my gosh, it is so good. But after that, Nagatoro kind of rushes off, and Senpai's kind of curious about what that's all about. And we cut forward to him doing a judo lesson. And I think it's a school-related event because we do find out there's a tournament being held, but Senpai gets his ass whooped. And Senpai clearly in his mind is thinking to himself, gosh, I wonder what Nagatoro would think about this. She'd probably make fun of me. And we get this cut where there's like these windows at the bottom of this room, and one of them's like slid open, and Nagatoro is just kind of chilling there, creeping on the whole thing. And we see the flyer, which has the high school judo tournament, and there's a male and female division, and there's prizes for everybody. And after that, after Senpai gets that sheet, Nagatoro just kind of dips and disappears, which even adds more to the curiosity of why she keeps disappearing. And Senpai's in the room, and he's doing some more drawing like he always does in the art room. And Yoshi and Maki just kind of show up looking for Nagatoro, talking about the tournament for a minute. And Senpai's like, yeah, no, she's not here. And they kind of mention that she's still that way about judo, and he wants to know why, but instead he wants to get better for the tournament. So Maki hands him a flyer, and we come to find out that they actually run a gym, which is kind of cool. especially for being just a bunch of high school students. They run this gym, and they look at the poster, and he sees Nagatoro on it, and she tells him, well, if you're going to stop by, do it Saturday at noon. That's going to be the best time. So Senpai actually shows up, and he sees Nagatoro fighting Maki in the ring with some MMA, and she sees him and not freaks out, but just freezes. And Maki gets a good hard punch on him. So they come in and talk for a minute, and she's like, yeah, this is all your fault, Senpai. And we get this moment of them just kind of sitting and talking. And he asks Nagatoro to train him because he wants to do a little better than last place in the tournament this year. And of course, at first, Nagatoro's humble and doesn't really want to. She just kind of walks away, and he thinks, why would she train me? I just came here out of nowhere. But she throws him a gi, and they get dressed, and she's going to train him. So they kind of start with a tuck and roll and everything, kind of the basics. And right after that, she instantly goes, let's spar. And the whole rest of the group's going to go eat lunch. They leave these two alone to kind of watch the gym and do their thing. However, within instance, Nagatoro throws Senpai on the ground, and he can't get her off. He just can't get her off of him. And he thinks instantly of the guy in the gym at school doing the same thing. And Senpai says the one thing that you shouldn't say to any woman. He says, you're way too heavy. I can't get you off. So what does Nagatoro do? She gets the vein in her forehead and the cat ears and freaks out. And she's like, you know what? I'm not fat. I'm a dainty little girl, but I know the center of gravity, so fuck you, Senpai. He had it coming. He totally had it coming. But after that, Senpai's kind of sitting on the sidelines, hydrating himself as one should. Keep hydrated, y'all. And we see that Nagatoro is facing Maki in just kind of a spar match, and Maki's winning, but Nagatoro does her classic judo stuff and throws Maki over her shoulder, and Senpai is just impressed. Now, I watch a little MMA, UFC, all that bullshit, so obviously you kind of know that that's just a point. It's not exactly a round match. And right after that, we get to see Nagatoro and Senpai walking home. And Nagatoro finally discusses a little bit about her judo past and everything, and how there was a couple people that she couldn't beat, so she kind of just lost interest and gave up. Which, some people are like that. You lose your passion, you lose your will, you give up. Which sucks, because especially if it's your passion, that shouldn't be enough reason for you to give up. But it happens, and Senpai and Nagatoro kind of split off. But before Nagatoro can walk away, Senpai tells her, I think that throw that you did was really beautiful. And she gets this moment of finally, she gets appreciated and praised from him. And it is absolutely adorable, because now that these two are getting closer and closer, and they realize that they love each other, and they just don't want to admit it, but they're raising each other up, and it is absolutely adorable. But she does play it off really well and says, yeah, right, whatever. But she doesn't come a perv, she doesn't do anything, she just embraces it. And I think we've gotten this last few episodes, but this is definitely a turning point at this arc era phase. Then we get the after credits scene, and we see Nagatoro, just kind of chilling in the art room couch, eating chocolate covered bamboo shoots again. And Maki comes in, and she's like, apparently the president's working really hard with Paizen one-on-one right now. Should you be really chilling here? Because, of course, Maki's doing the old pressuring Nagatoro and Senpai to be even closer together thing. But, she's doing it in her own way. So Nagatoro freaks out. And we cut to Paizen and the president in the dojo practicing. And the president is, free spirit, is she's wearing her gi, but she is not wearing any undershirt. And her boobs are they're just there. And Paizen notices this immediately. So, before anything could really seriously happen, even though the president throws Paizen right on the ground, kind of in that natural tackle we've seen these last few times, here comes Nagatoro, slamming that door open in this angry pose that is just fucking to die for. And there's Paizen on the ground, smothered in the president's opai, just getting destroyed. And Nagatoro just yells, and goes, "Hey, get off of him." And she's just like, "Well, I was just trying to train him, you know." And he's like, "I appreciate it." But Nagatoro's teaching him. And she gets from this face of like 50 shades of angry, angsty madness to happy, smiley, light-colored face Nagatoro again. And the president pretty much goes, "You know, that's fine. I'm really happy for you guys," and kind of just walks away. However, Nagatoro instantly is ready to just get rid of that bitch. I love the jealousy that is induced from her onto Paizen, because like, it is absolutely the best kind of. And she goes off to the trash bin for the bunny-eared girl. It is amazing. So we'll see more about that in the next episode, from what we can tell at the end of that one, to give us some clues as to what's going to happen in this tournament. However, we get a last little glimpse at what's to come in the rest of this arc that's going to throw a fork in the road here. And that would be Hana meeting up with the president. And for those who don't know, I don't want to spoil too much because we'll figure this out in the next few episodes, but she is a cousin of the president, and she looks just like her, and she's got like the same like public nudity habit that the president does, and she is going to join the art club, and she is a force to be reckoned with, and I cannot wait to see these episodes coming up. But that is the end of the episode, and man, it's going to be so good next week. I am very much looking forward to this, as always, because this show just keeps you on your toes. Like, I was talking with my buddy the other day, actually, and we're like, I wonder if the writer, like, wrote this off of personal experiences in his life. I doubt it, but it would be freaking hilarious to think about that, because granted, it's not the most original thing. There's tons of like this types of animes, but just the scenarios and everything that happens in the Friends, it feels fresh every week, even though it isn't fresh, if you know what I'm saying. So that's pretty much all I got for this week on this episode. I'll be back again, like I said, Wednesday with the 100 sub Demon Slayer video, and I'll probably do another video or two this week because I do have the week off, and I plan on just indulging out. Hopefully my voice gets a little better by the end of today and tomorrow to make sure that the video is 100% up to par. Thanks for dealing with it, even though it was a little scuffed, but it means a lot for even tuning in for me. So if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like, and if you didn't, you made it this far, I thank you a lot. It'd mean a lot to me if you could hit that sub button, and we're going to keep getting this squiddom even stronger and even farther. With that out of the way, I'd like to thank y'all, and we'll see y'all in the next video, and this has been Squids. Peace.